Welcome to Yankee Chronicle. I'm your host, Abby Peel, and today we are back here at LaValley Middleton Building Supply with contractor and retail lumber yards, with home centers, truss and wall panel fabrication, a world-class paint and decorating center, and one of the largest, most modern eastern white pine sawmills in New England. Jeremy Stout will join me to tell us about their 61-year tradition of local ownership, excellent products, services, and vast facilities. Hanna Flanders from Sweet Beet Market will give us an update on their happenings for this summer. Nancy Tripp will provide a rundown of the 2023 Summer Music Associate season of music. And we'll close with a review of music events for the summer at the Jim Mitchell Park in Warner. But first, a few words from another one of the underwriters that make your Yankee Chronicle possible. Please stay with us.
The American Red Cross blood supply is at historically low levels this winter, and we're facing a dangerous situation across the country. Without the blood they need, hospitals may be forced to make tough decisions about patient care. Donors are needed now to ensure blood is available for everyone who needs it when they need it. The good news is, you can help. Make an appointment to give now. Visit redcrossblood.org or call 1-800-RED-CROSS. Patients are counting on you.
This program is supported by Main Street Bookends of Warner for books, toys, games, cards, gifts, and a gallery of local art. Main Street Bookends of Warner.
Welcome back to Yankee Chronicle. I'm your host, Abby Peel, coming to you from LaValley Middleton Building Supply right here in West Leb. Come say hi to them right off the highway. And I'm now joined by absolutely no stranger to YCN, Jeremy Stout, who's the Director of Marketing here. Hi, Jeremy.
Hello, Abby.
Great to see you as always. I know this isn't the sports show that you're used to, but I could throw a couple facts at you probably in the sports world. But let's talk about LaValley's. How are things happening here at LaValley's?
Things are going great.
Good.
We're continuing to be busy, continuing to expand, and continuing to, keep our name out there. Last year was our 60th anniversary.
Wow.
I know I talked to you a couple times, talking about that, and so that was quite a big achievement.
That is.
But we're going to keep going for at least another 60, hopefully more.
Is there ever a slow time at a building supply store?
Yeah, sometimes you get after the holidays, January, February, depending on the weather. But this year, actually, never really slowed down. People were still doing projects, and the weather was pretty mild for the first part of the winter. And then we got a little bit of storms in February and March. But now it's finally some nice weather, and we're ready to go.
And people are really focusing on outside. It's so fun, to see things just seem to be in bloom all of a sudden, and you're realizing that didn't last through the winter, I gotta go replace it. So be sure to stop by one of your LaValley locations to make sure you get everything tip-top shape. Talk about the history. You just mentioned it's 60 years. It started, it's family owned and operated. It continues today to be family owned and operated. And that, as we go down, into the future, that's not always the case with some of these places. That's really rare.
Right, and so as you mentioned, 60 years, 61 years this year. 1962, Harold and Geraldine LaValley founded the company right in Newport, New Hampshire, and have expanded slowly geographically, 12 retail locations in New Hampshire and Vermont. So we like to stress that because there's 12 stores you can walk into and buy something off the shelf, get delivered. But we also have other companies that are what we like to call the family of companies. So we have a pine sawmill, Caprizio Pine Mill. We also have 2 modular home companies, Preferred Building Systems, the factories in Claremont, New Hampshire, and then New England Homes, which is the sales operation in Dover, New Hampshire. And then we also have Lebanon Paint and Decorating here in Lebanon, New Hampshire, which we acquired in 2019, I believe. And so it's kind of like you've got the initial footprint of the retail stores, and then you kind of keep expanding out and kind of diversifying, I guess you could say, but still staying in the industry.
And it's not just building supplies for your home either. That's the other thing. I mean, contractors use you, construction companies use you, and so that you have to cover a lot of products.
Right. I mean, it's not just, hey, a hardware store.
Sure.
You have the drive-through lumber yard, so you can come in, get whatever you need. We have free delivery available.
Yeah.
And because we have such a wide geography, going all the way from Rutland, Vermont, to basically the seacoast in New Hampshire, and get into Massachusetts, get into Maine. I mean, if you have a job, maybe you're working somewhere else, but hey, there's not a LaValley near you, or it's not the same store you always shop at.
Sure.
We're all the same, so
Right.
you can easily just say, okay, I'll call the Claremont one for my delivery to Claremont. I'll call the Meredith one when I'm up by the lake.
Right.
And we're all the same, and it's pretty interchangeable and easy for the customer.
And then just still so amazing that it's all under the LaValley name, still owned by the same
Yes.
two people. I mean, so a lot of family obviously
Yes.
still are part of it.
Yeah, and it's now becoming closer to a third generation. Obviously, the grandchildren are becoming involved more. And it's funny you mentioned that it stayed in the family, because what's happened with a lot of these ones we've acquired, it's come to that generation and they don't want to take over those smaller ones. You know, their grandfather might have started and they're not interested.
Right.
So then they have a one-off and we acquire. That happened specifically in the Bristol location,
Okay.
which is one of our newer ones. West Chesterfield, New Hampshire is one of our newest ones. And that was kind of a similar situation where it just, you know, the person who owned it, who ran it, didn't feel like doing it, and there was nobody to pass it on
Sure.
to. So they feel safe, you know, selling it to another
Of course.
family. It's going to be in that family and going to be taken care of. The customers are going to be taken care of, because that's a big thing.
Right,
also.
and feel that. I mean, obviously you're a very successful store and company, but you also love to give back, and that's a big part of Harold and Geraldine's vision too.
Yes.
They love to support. Talk a little bit about that, because you're a huge part of communities in both New Hampshire and Vermont.
Yeah, so obviously starting in Newport and living in Newport,
Yeah.
and then obviously going to high school at Stevens
Right.
and Claremont, Harold, really those two areas are really kind of at the heart.
Yeah.
But as we've acquired each location, we really try to stay involved with, whether it be a chamber or, you know, the Listen Center,
Sure.
or Upper Valley Haven here in the Lebanon area, a food bank. You know, around Christmas time, we try to do some collections
Yeah.
for the Toys for Tots run by the Marines and things. So it's really important to Harold, and he's pretty quiet about it. He
Yeah.
doesn't like to promote it. I know that's old school. He'd rather
Sure.
just do it, and we, you know, we're trying to figure out the best way to tell our story without sounding like we're bragging about it, but also letting people know that, hey, we're a part of the community, and sometimes you do have to kind of raise your hand and say, hey, we did this, but
Yeah.
just do it in the right way.
No, completely. It's worth talking about and worth mentioning, and I think it's worth the pat on the back to what you do, and I think extra pat on the back that he loves to do it kind of
Yes.
under the radar, because some of those things do deserve to be promoted, but he just wants to say, nope, it was done as kind of a
there's a
gift.
time and a place for everything.
Yeah.
Some of the smaller ones you might just do, and then some of the larger ones, or you might partner up with another
Sure.
organization or another business. And that's the other thing. I know Bob Jackman had talked about, like competition and things like that. And sometimes we work with another company and say, hey, let's team up for X, Y, or Z. And so it doesn't always have to be cutthroat
Sure.
out there.
Yeah, no,
There's
it's
enough
fantastic.
for everybody.
It's fantastic to mention, because you're obviously a very successful 12-store location, but you do a lot to give back to the communities too.
Thank you. Sure.
So if people want more information, how can they get that?
Yeah, they can just go to our website, and that pretty much has all the store locations, hours, specials, all kinds of good stuff, contact information. And don't forget to sign up for our e-member program. We'll email out specials every week and DIY tips and tricks and things like that.
Oh,
So,
that's good. And
yeah.
everyone loves a deal, so.
Exactly. That's the best way to get it.
Jeremy Stout, it's always a pleasure to talk to you. Thanks for the update and letting us hang out in your wonderful showroom here.
Yes.
And hosting these 2 weeks. We appreciate it.
Yes, thank you very much. It's always great to have you. And obviously, the showroom here in West Leb, we've got them at all 12 locations. So if you're not near West Leb, stop into any of the other 11.
I might take this home with me. Thank you very much. When we come back, we'll get a rundown for what's happening this summer at Sweet Beet Market in Bradford. But first, these messages from another one of your Yankee Chronicle underwriters.
We all make choices about alcohol. Kids make choices whether to drink or not.
Bye, Dad.
Bye-bye.
Remember, I'm going to Alex's party tonight and sleeping over.
Have fun. Hey, remind me about that party again?
And adults make choices whether to talk about it. That's true of parents and every other trusted adult in a kid's life. Kids want to know our expectations, and they want honest answers in everyday conversations. So talk with your kids and help lead them on a positive path. Because when you talk, they hear you.
This program is supported by H.R. Clough and Kearsarge Heating. Their full-service model offers oil delivery, propane, motor fuels with design, installation, service, and maintenance of all types of oil, gas, and alternative energy systems, as well as air conditioning, water conditioning systems, and backup generators. Their highly trained and friendly staff will assist you throughout the process of buying, installing, and servicing a full line of energy products. H.R. Clough and Kearsarge Heating.
Welcome back to your Yankee Chronicle. I'm Abby Peel, your host. So much is happening in our region this time of year. Let's now join Hanna Flanders at Sweet Beet Market to find out what they have in store this summer.
Thanks, Abby. Yeah, I'm here at Sweet Beet, and there's a lot going on. Spring is coming, and so the bounty in the market is really starting to overflow. Fresh greens, radishes, scallions. You'll be really surprised by all the local goodness coming out of our local farms. Sweet Beet Cafe closed temporarily, and it's still closed right now, but our community room is open and vibrant and bustling with people coming to have free coffee and tea. There's grab-and-go goodies coming out of our kitchen that you can come and sit down and eat or take with you and enjoy somewhere else. But the main message is that we're here. The porch is open, the weather is getting really nice, and the community room is here for you. People might not know that we are actually a nonprofit organization called the Kearsarge Food Hub, so we're really invested into creating community space where everybody feels welcome, where people can enjoy fresh local food that really connects us to the lands around us and our vibrant local agricultural community. There's a lot going on farms locally, and we just want to make those connections between neighbors, farms, delicious food. We're also doing all sorts of education for all ages up on Sweet Beet Farm here in Bradford. So we have a new homeschool program for kiddos to come enjoy the farm. We have extended learning opportunities for high school students to come get school credit, getting their hands dirty, learning how to farm. And it's really important because our agricultural community needs a burst of energy. We need people who want to work on our farms and help feed our communities. So we're all about just making sure people know that that's an option and that farming is a viable, enjoyable career that has a huge impact on our community. Our community room here has been hosting a lot of really fun events. We've had some farmer meetup sessions where, again, we're just trying to connect farmers and create a vibrant, viable agricultural community. And we're gearing up for our 3rd annual community fair coming up in July, which is a tradition around here just to bring people around and have music and games and things for the family here in Bradford, and of course, delicious food. And we're going to be thinking about more events, more community gatherings. It's really come to our attention as we're exploring the use of this space and what the cafe and the kitchen mean in our organization. And the heart of it for us is really community gathering and bringing people together. So we're so lucky to have community volunteers helping us out here at Sweet Beet in the Kearsarge Food Hub in many ways, including making this community room really welcoming and inviting. It's fresh, it's new, there's a lot going on. We actually have a really neat display right now. It's our vintage t-shirt display. So over the years, we've been creating t-shirts for folks to wear and sport their Sweet Beet pride, and we would love for you to come check out the designs over the years. It's really neat to see the evolution of it in this specific artistic way, so definitely come check that out. We really encourage you to follow along with what we're up to here at Sweet Beet. You can follow us on social media at Sweet Beet NH and also at Kearsarge Food Hub on Facebook and Instagram, and we're super active on there. We just want you to know what's going on. We want you to come here to Bradford. It's really not that far out of the way, just a half a mile off of Route 103. So pop on down and come check out what's going on. We're really committed to partnering with other local organizations, Kearsarge Neighborhood Partners, Colby Sawyer College, Spring Ledge Farm, the local Abenaki Trails Project, and we have some exciting projects that happen in the springtime specifically to help grow more gardeners in the Kearsarge area. One of those is the Tray It Forward program, where we are distributing 400 seedling trays to neighbors who identify just needing a hand growing a garden. garden, and the whole point of that is more gardeners, more gardens make us more food secure in our area, but also more joyful, more connected. There are so many benefits to getting outside, putting your hands in the soil, growing your own food, health benefits, connection with your neighbors. And another project we have going on collaboratively is the Abenaki Seeds Project. We just distributed to about 50 local growers, Three Sisters seedlings, so corn, beans, and squash, for people to experiment with growing heritage Abenaki seeds. And then here at the Kearsarge Food Hub, we help to channel the harvest from those gardens to the Abenaki Helping Abenaki Food Pantry to support culturally appropriate foods for our tribal neighbors. We really want you to come hang out here in the community room. We want you to shop at Sweet Beet Market and connect with all the delicious foods coming from our farm partners. We work with over 100 vendors from New Hampshire to make it a really fully stocked grocery store experience. And here in the community room, we're offering free coffee and tea, so you can come hang out inside, outside, on the porch, enjoy grab-and-go goodies coming from the kitchen. We're making things, we're eating here, and it's a vibrant space. We really want you to come visit. Otherwise, check us out in the community. We're going to be at Henniker Handmade and Homegrown. We're going to be at the New Hampshire Food Alliance statewide gathering up in Plymouth, and just generally out there in the community here in Bradford. And we really want you to come visit, so you can learn more at kearsargefoodhub.org, and definitely follow us on the socials, Facebook and Instagram.
Sweet. Thank you, Hannah. When we return, Nancy Tripp will give us a rundown of the music entertainment that the Summer Music Associates has planned. But first, these words from the good folks that make our communities the great places they are, the businesses that support us, and the organizations you know and love.
We are strong, we are resilient, and we will get through this together. But these are stressful times, and it's important to also practice good self-care. It's normal to feel overwhelmed, anxious, or afraid, but there is hope. Reach out to someone, connect with your friends, stay in touch with your community, and know that you are not alone. Learn more at wearebroadcasters.com/hope, furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
This program is supported by Echo Communications, a digitally integrated commercial printer and mailer located in New London, New Hampshire since 1997, with roots going back much further as the Country Press, AccuMail, and the home of the Kearsarge shopper. Echo Communications.
Welcome back to your Yankee Chronicle. I'm your host, Abby Peel. So much is going on around here, but there is more. Tell us, Nancy, about what Summer Music Associates has staged for us.
Well, this year is a very special year for Summer Music Associates because it's our 50th season. So we're celebrating in grand style, and we have put together a series of concerts that are phenomenally just wonderful. Our first concert is on Saturday, June 10th at the Sawyer Theater at Colby Sawyer College, and it's the Boston Civic Symphony conducted by Francisco Noya. And this year, the Boston Civic is bringing Kayla Wakao, who is an internationally award-winning and competition-winning violinist. She's 18 years old. She is astonishing. You will be in love with her, I am sure. And they are presenting Beethoven's number 6 Symphony, the Pastoral, and also Ernest Chanson's piece, poem for violin and orchestra, and Sibelius's piece Finlandia, which is a very timely piece because it expresses Finland's relationship with Russia at a time in Finland's history. So that's going to be a very exciting concert. Then on Thursday, June 29th at the First Baptist Church, we have Fred Moyer Jazz Trio coming back. Very, very loved performer. He is from New Hampshire and is world-renowned. And joining Fred is Nicole Densmore, our very own wonderful local elementary school music teacher and flautist. And she and Fred will be playing a Schubert sonata in A minor, arranged for flute and piano. And that's as well as the first half of the concert being Fred playing classical music, and the second half where he opens up the piano and you can see the keyboard on the mirror inside, which is just fantastic. And he'll be joined by his trio for classic jazz trios. that concert's fantastic. Then on July 6th here at the church, we have the Cuarteto Latinoamericano String Quartet. I love saying their name. These are 4 guys from Mexico City. They have been playing together since 1982. They've won 2 Grammys for Latin American classical music, and that is their purpose. They like to bring the Latin American composers to a broader audience, and their choices of music are spectacular. But they're starting with a Mozart string quartet, just to please our audience, and then they continue with a piece by Chavez. He's a Mexican composer. That's a string quartet. And then Revueltas, another string quartet called Música de Feria. And then they continue the program with Leo Brouwer. He's a Cuban composer, another string quartet, of course. And then Concertante by Villalobos, who's more familiar to us, I believe, than those other composers. So it will be a night of classical music a la Latin American style, great rhythm and tremendous passion. Another Thursday night on the 27th of July here at the church, we have the Monin Frogs. These are 6 saxophone players. Every kind of saxophone that's ever been invented, they play it, and they're hilarious. They're fantastically trained classical musicians, but they play a variety of ragtime, jazz, pop, and classical, and they're delightful. This is a standing room only concert, I would think, and they have been receiving ovations all over the world where they play. They are funny and wonderful. So that concert is one I'm especially looking forward to. And then to round out the season on August 10th, a Thursday night, back at Colby Sawyer, we have Chris Brubeck's Triple Play coming back. His rollicking, romping jazz, blues, rock, folk concert with that great harmonica player, Mad Cat Ruth, will delight us all. We fill the house whenever they come, and we're thrilled that he's returning to us. So that's the season for this year. And I'd also like to mention that in January of 2024, we're having another youth outreach program. This is a group called Ball in the House, and they're a male a cappella singing group, and they will be working with the choruses at the middle and high school for the Kearsarge Regional School District. So we are very proud and pleased to be bringing another group of musicians to inspire our young people to become more involved in music. For more information about the concert programs and ordering tickets and directions to the concerts, please visit our website. So we hope to see you at the concerts. It's going to be a great season.
Thank you, Nancy, and to Summer Music Associates for their world-class year-after-year entertainment you provide. When we come back, we'll get a rundown of the music for our ears this summer on the stage at the Jim Mitchell Park in Warner, where something wonderful is always happening.
When you take your car in for an oil change, a good mechanic will also take care of other routine maintenance to make sure your car runs safely and efficiently. Protecting your health isn't much different. When you get a COVID-19 vaccine, it's important to make sure you're also protected from other serious but preventable diseases. It's easy and convenient to get other routine vaccines at the same time as a COVID-19 vaccine. So make sure you ask a healthcare professional about other vaccines you may need to maintain your health.
This program is supported by the Innertown Record, your weekly hometown community newspaper covering the Kearsarge Sunapee Sunshine region of New Hampshire. The Innertown Record.
Welcome back to your Yankee Chronicle. I'm Abby Peel. It's so great to see all these venues reopen after COVID with great lineups of events, concerts, and theater. Let's head down to Warner to hear what their Jim Mitchell stage has in store for us. Hi, Catherine.
Thank you, Abby. Here I am standing at the entrance to the Jim Mitchell Community Park, and I am wearing the hat as a board member for Main Street Warner, Inc., and I'm just so happy to announce that we have a schedule for stage and performances all through the summer and fall. And it has been a long haul. For 2 years, there were no outside performances, no inside performances, nothing. Last year we had a very cautious kind of reopening of the park, and this year we've just pulled out all the stops. And it's super exciting because there will be something every week this summer and fall, either on the terrace behind me on Thursday evenings or on the stage on Friday or Saturday evenings. So every single week we've got something coming up. These concerts are primarily local musicians. We also bring in regional talent from the Boston area and so forth as well. So we have quite a lineup. The thing about the performances here in the park is that they are always free to the public. And that's part of the mission of Main Street Warner Inc. These concerts are always free. What we have to do is we have to raise money for the performers. So we do pass a hat and at the performances. And if you're interested at all in becoming a sponsor of this concert series, or perhaps an individual act, please go to our website and contact us that way, because we would love to promote you or your business during these wonderful performances during the summer. We're going to start this off on Sunday, June 4th. We're very excited because the New London Barn Playhouse is going to be coming here at 4 p.m. with their actors and with their music, and they're going to give us a preview of the performances that are going to be happening this summer at the New London Barn Playhouse. So we're very excited about having that happen this year down on the stage. So please, Sunday, June 4th, come on by and find out what you have in store in terms of amazing theater right here in New London. On Saturday, June 10th, the Dobros will officially open up the concert series. The Dobros we like to refer to as they're our hometown band. They're also they're very special to us. They've opened up most of our concert seasons, and they've also closed most of our concert seasons. So please come on down Saturday, June 10th. These concerts run 6:30 to 8:30 in the evening. On Thursday, June 15th, we have Green Heron, a very popular duo that will be coming in. We have the Ferns here on June 30th. There is a long list of performers that go all the way through to the Warner Fall Foliage Festival, which is the grand finale for the park season and the stage season. So go to our website and you will find the list of all the performers and all the performances that are going to be happening. Come on down, bring a blanket, bring a couple of chairs, bring a picnic. This is a wonderful spot to just relax and be able to enjoy local musicians, local theater. We're very excited to be able to present this to you again this year. So come on down. This is the Jim Mitchell Community Park, and we're right here on Main Street in Warner, New Hampshire, and it's part of Main Street Warner Inc. Because, as Jim said, something wonderful is always happening in Warner.
Thank you, Catherine, and thank you to all of our historical sites and performing centers that make living in this region so special. Join us next week for another edition of your Who, What, Where, and When show of the Dartmouth Lake Sunapee region. We'll have a full half hour on the boats in Sunapee Harbor and hear from the Fenton family about their hospitality that has been part of our area since 1977. Don't miss our Game of the Week, second season, as we revisit games from the past year. Our next game is boys basketball as Lebanon hosts their rival Hanover. All of our games replay at noon and 7 p.m. on Sundays and Mondays. Check out ycnnow.com for the most up-to-date schedules and on-demand viewing of all of our shows. I want to thank the good folks here at LaValley's for hosting us these past 2 weeks. Check them out for the best in building supplies and because they are a great local business that supports your Yankee Chronicle. I'm Abby Peel. Join us again next week at this same time.
Can I go to the sleepover?
I want you to promise me something. If there's any drinking, I want you to say No thanks. Not my thing.
I promise, Mom.
They really do hear you.
Did you pack your toothbrush?
For tips on how to start the talk, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.